Georgia Nicols here. It is the end of the year, so instead of just looking toward January, we're going to learn more about what's coming up in 2017.
I know, it's exciting. It's exciting. Okay, well, obviously we're beginning with Aries. Aries, the thing for Aries to know is that in 2017, it's prep time for them. What they're doing is getting ready for 2018. I mean, hey, 2017 is still ahead of us. But in 2018, they really are shining. So they're reaching a sort of a career peak. So this is their time now this year to either get further education or further training, or maybe they will travel, or they might even slightly change their job. I mean, because they will have opportunities opening to them in some other fields, because they should just realize that they're getting ready for this big pitch. It's sort of like getting ready for the big prom. So you might as well have your dress ready.
Right.
You know, so line this up. They're getting performance ready. And another thing for Aries is that this is their year to marry if they're single, and if they are in a relationship, their relationship will greatly improve. But Jupiter is opposite their sign, which means that for the first time in over 12 years, or in 12 years, they have the best chance to get support from others. And it's a great year, as I say, to marry and meet new people. So it's a wonderful relationship year. Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, good news and bad news in a way. The bad news is, if you can say it's bad news, they're standing on their own 2 feet this year. They're getting less support from other sources, or support from other sources has been withdrawn or diminished. Whatever the situation, they're kind of like thrown back on their own resources, and they can do it. And they shouldn't be discouraged, because I see them very powerful about 2 or 3 years down the road, right? But coincidentally, and I think this is very good for them, they have the best chance in over a decade to improve their job. So Tauruses in 2017 can get a better job, or a better boss, or better duties, or better working conditions, something. They can even improve their health. So that's looking very good, even though they are relying on themselves.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Which isn't a bad thing at all. And it isn't as if, oh, it's just poor me, because really by 2020, they're shining. So again, that's kind of like Aries, but in a different way, getting ready, right? Gemini. Now, Gemini, again, good news and bad news for Gemini. Let's hit the bad news first, if you can call it that, and it kind of is. Saturn is opposite their sign now. So this is really tough for their relationships. For Gemini, if they're in a bad relationship, it could end. This is a time where a lot of relationships, and we're talking in a 30-year cycle. However, if relationships are just sort of problematic, it just means that you can make this through. You have to make some adjustments, and it'll be a big learning experience for you, and then it'll be solid, right? The good news is that they have, more than any other sign, the most fun. Now, this could be why some of these relationships are going to break up. You see how the two fit. So I see them having wonderful opportunities for vacations and parties and romance and love affairs, and it's all fun, fun city, and enjoying the pleasures of children and everything like this. But they've got to deal with the challenge of this relationship, a major relationship. And Cancer. Cancers are working hard, and this is a very special year for Cancer, and I really want them to know this. Cancers are nesters. They really take their home life very seriously and their family seriously, and they want security. And so they should know that they have the best chance in over a decade to make money from real estate, or to improve their home. If they stay where they are, then they can renovate it or fix it up, or even buy new things. They can improve their home, or they can get a better home. And if they cannot buy or sell, they can rent something better. And also their family life will improve. Family members will be more mutually generous to each other. It's all very supportive. And in fact, a lot of them will expand their families with birth, marriage, adoption, something like this. So it's a lovely family time for them, and they're working hard. Leos. Well, Leo, their strength this year is because they're going to believe in themselves. They're going to have a positive attitude. Jupiter is going through their third house, and the third house is your everyday activity, but it's also how you think. And Jupiter is wisdom and joy, and it expands you. So the fact of the matter is, everything around you begins with a thought. So if your thoughts are positive, this affects your whole world, because first comes a thought, and from the thought springs the word, from the word springs the deed, and the deed becomes habit, and then habit becomes character. So they have a chance this year to improve their life simply because they believe in themselves, right? And with Saturn, when I'm taking a look at their Saturn here, I see that down deep they're really wondering what they want to be for the rest of their lives. They're kind of wondering, who do I want to be when I grow up, no matter how old they are. So they're thinking a lot about their values, and they will have increased responsibilities with children. But they're going to be happy and positive, and it's a very good year for writers, for Leos, and actors and teachers, you know, yada, yada, yada.
Very good.
Virgo, well, hey, we're in the money. Okay. Virgos, for the first time in over a decade, are coming into this chance for about a year where they have, I'm not going to say they will earn more money, but they have tons of opportunities to do so. So it depends on each person, right? But they have their best chance to boost their income. They could get a better job, or they just might make investments, or they might make money on the side. And where I see their big emphasis is also they want to secure their home base. They've had a very, very busy time since 2008. They've kind of reinvented themselves, and then they've had some shakeups in the last couple of years, and now they want to solidify their home base. So they might be doing major repairs, very timely because they're going to earn money. So they will pull their act together. They're going to pull their act together this year.
Good year
strong,
for Virgo.
Definitely. And Libra, now we're coming into another lovely run here. Libra, on the one hand, they are facing a change of residence, a change of jobs. There's a lot of flux, and it's uncertain. It's uncertain for them. And even if they think, oh, no, that's not happening, you suddenly, ooh, I am moving. So they're facing this, but they have a beautiful benefit because Jupiter is in their sign. So Jupiter is called the Great Benefic, and Jupiter is in Libra for 2017 until the end. In October it moves. And so when Jupiter's in your sign, it isn't as if a fairy godmother comes along and goes, hey, you won the lotto. It is more that every day is easy. Just every day is easier.
That would
You seem to even have more spare time, and the food you get in a restaurant is nicer, or whatever you're doing is, oh, this is nice. Like it's content.
Right.
Yeah, lovely time for them, lovely time for them. Scorpio, they are going to have a chance to either mentor somebody this year or be a teacher to somebody, or in turn they will meet a powerful teacher because they're going to learn a lot. They're going to have a lot of personal development going on. And I see that also they are wondering about their value system. So this comes at a nice, I'm seeing for many signs, the two are working together, right? Notice that one needs money and they're going to fix up their house, that sort of thing. So I see that they're wondering about their value systems, wondering what really matters in life, and at the same time they're going to be actually learning this. So they're going to come out wiser. And good news for Scorpio, in October then Jupiter enters their sign and they have a whole year ahead of that good fortune. Okay, for Sagittarius. Sagittarians, they know this. Since 2015, they've been on a whole new thing. And what they really are doing is at the beginning of a 30-year journey where they're going to reinvent themselves between now and 2023. But they're still at the beginning because they gave up a lot just behind. And now they're sort of heading off. But this is going to be a really popular year for Sagittarians. So I would advise them to go right ahead and join classes and clubs and groups and associations and be friendly and interact with others. Not just because it's pleasurable to be popular, and they do like it, and they're very breezy and friendly, but also because all of their interactions with others this year will benefit them. Because again, Jupiter's the benefic. So they will find, even if it's a casual friendship or it's a club or a group, that, oh, it was way to their advantage that they joined this or they did this. Could come later, but so they should really get out there and be friendly, more than usual. Capricorn, wow, Capricorn is looking great. Capricorn has two very distinct separate messages. On the one hand, they are going through everything and getting rid of it. If they don't need it, they're getting rid of it. They're doing it very well because they hate waste. But they're giving up people and places and possessions because they're downsizing, getting ready for 2018 when they go into something new. And while they're getting rid of this, Jupiter is at the very top of their chart and they look fabulous. So they, I always say in my columns, they can put their name up in lights because their reputation with others, with their peers or with bosses, VIPs, is excellent. And they don't even have to do anything different. it's just sort of like smoke and mirrors. They just enjoy this reputation. So they should know they have it. It's just sort of bubbling out there. So therefore they should go after what they want because they will get it. And now we have Aquarius. Aquarius, it's quite easy for them. It's quite an easy year for them. In fact, my advice for them is they should learn how to stick up for themselves and not spread themselves too thin. Everybody wants a piece of Aquarius this year. They're out there offering a lot because they're successful, they're strong now, and so they could just sort of be, and they haven't got time for themselves, right? So they have to learn that balance. They count too. But what I do see for them is tons of travel opportunities. They will be traveling, they can go back to school, they can further their education with classwork on the side, they can publish, they can look into opportunities in the media, medicine and the law. So they will expand their world, and they just have to know to take time for themselves, but they're strong. And finally, Pisces. Pisces is really the strongest of them all because in a 30-year cycle, Pisces has finally achieved the top. It takes 30, okay.
Wow.
And so when you achieve the top, though, for example, when Nixon had Watergate, that was his time of harvest. So you do see what's not working. So you can see what's not working and then cut it off, let it go. And you see what is working and then you go with that. And you've earned that, right? So they may have kudos and acknowledgements because they've arrived. And in addition to this, Pisces has Jupiter sitting in one of their money houses, and they can easily get a loan, they can get a mortgage. If they have any kind of a settlement, it'll go to their advantage because they get stuff from other people. They even get the use of things that other people own, like, hey, the condo and Whistler, thanks for the keys, you know. And or else their partner might earn more money and then they indirectly benefit.
Right. Okay.
There you have it.
It's going to be an interesting year.
It is, it is.
Georgia, thanks so much for doing this with us. To learn more about your in-depth forecast for the entire year, Georgia's annual forecast for 2017 are available on Kindle and on her website at georgianicols.com. And I think it's important to point out that half the proceeds from Georgia's website go to a Tibetan school in Nepal. It helps feed them.
Yes.
It helps them out.
Yes.
They don't even have heat, you said, in the winter.
No, they don't have heat still in the classrooms, and they make 500 hot meals every day.
Amazing.
For the little nuns and monks and students.
Very good.
It is amazing. And of course, they've had the trouble from the earthquake before, and they're rebuilding, and it's hard.
All right.